All right, welcome back to another episode of Elevate with CJ. I'm your host, CJ, and today we're going to be talking about a subject that I absolutely love, and that is investing. This is not investment advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I am not an investment advisor. So as we entertain you today, let's take a look at Investor.gov. As you can see, I've got Investor.gov popped in there. You can also, if you want to go directly to what I'm going to show you, you can type in compound interest calculator after Investor.gov, but I kind of wanted to show you the main site here. So let's click off of that. So the page pulls up. Don't click on the sponsors. Always pay attention to the sponsors. Don't click on that. Go to Investor.gov home, click on that. And so from the main page, you can go into financial tools and calculators. They do have a lot of different stuff on here that I've not played with, but this is one of my preferred tools for looking at investment and compounding interest. So if you go to financial tools and calculators, you hit compound interest calculator. There we go. It finally came ahead. I don't know what's going on there. Glitching out. So it must be, oh, I know what it is. It's the internet because it is raining outside. So this is a compound interest calculator. It determines how much money you can grow using the power of compounding interest, which is the seventh or eighth wonder of the world. I think Einstein said something like that. So today we're going to pretend that you are a 35-year-old and today you have $500 and you're going to put it into your Roth IRA. And so you can only contribute right now about $50 a month. $50 a month. And so if you're 35, you retire, let's say at 65, so that'll be 30 years, right? 30 years. And for the interest rate, I don't know what to put in here. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you how I do this stuff. Is I go into ChatGPT. So just ChatGPT and I say, hey chatbot, what is the interest rate for the S&P 500 been for the last 30 years? Just an average. Can you give that to me?
It is a stock market index that tracks the performance of 500 large companies listed on stock exchanges in the United States. It doesn't have an interest rate because it's not a fixed income investment like a bond. Instead, people often refer to the average annual return of the S&P 500, which reflects how much the index has grown over time. Historically, the S&P 500 has delivered an average annual return of about 10% before adjusting for inflation. Keep in mind, this is an average, and actual returns can vary significantly from year to year.
So you will see chatbot just gave me the answer, so it's 10% on average. So we'll do the average there, and then we'll do a variable in here. Let's say we'll do a 2% variable, so 2% up or down. So compounding is annually, it doesn't compound monthly, and then we just simply hit calculate. So it calculates the results. So in 30 years, you will have an estimated $107,421. Down here, it kind of shows you a table. It shows you the middle of the road, which is the red, which is 10%. The top of the road, which is 12%, which is the black one. And then the variance below, 8%, which is about 73,000. So you can also do this and show the table. I recommend you do this. This kind of shows you year by year what you should be hitting. With the 8%, and then you got the 10% up here, and then you've got the 12%. So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you see at the end of at age 65, you have 73,000. That's just with $500 going into the IRA and adding $50 a month. And that's, in theory, there's past performance don't dictate what's going to happen in the future. We're just going by what the averages are. And so we kind of get an idea of what it looks like. $500 plus 50 at the 10% is 107,000, and then if you actually ended up doing better and got 12%, it'd be right around $160,000. So, kind of gives you the idea of what you're looking at there. So let's say let you want to do, say you start off with $1,000 and you're going to do let's do $500 a month. Let's just say you decided not to buy the Mustang, and you're going to keep driving your Toyota Corolla or Camry or Honda Accord until the wheels fall off, and then you're just going to pay cash to put new wheels on there and new transmission and new engine, and you just manage to keep not buying a car with this money right here. So you pay out the $500 a month for 30 years, interest rate 10%, and 2% variance annually. And so you hit calculate again. You got to hit calculate every time you change the numbers. So now that $500 a month car payment turns into $1 million after 30 years. So from age 35 to age 65. So if you, on the low end of the table at 8%, looking at $689,000, and then $1 million in the 10% range, and then 1.5 or 1.477 million in the high range if you got 12% on your returns. And so, hey, CJ here, the host of Elevate with CJ. If this video has helped you take one step closer to financial clarity, imagine what 9 weeks of focused mentorship could do for you. Join me at Elevate with CJ, where I help faith-driven leaders and business owners build strong foundations, break through limitations, and create a plan for lasting success. Visit elevatewithcj.com to get started. I want you to pay attention though, it takes a long time before it starts to really snowball. So in year one, you got the $1,000, and then year one, you end up with $7,080. Year two, $13,000, $20,000. This isn't pretty, okay? It just takes a long time. And then by year, let's see where you get to $100,000. So in year 11, you're at $100,000. So you've probably been frustrated this whole time because you're putting this $500 a month in there and it doesn't seem like it's doing anything. But when you get to that $100,000 mark, for some reason, it just kind of tends to explode. So it took you 11 years to get to 100,000. You get to another 7 years, you get to 200,000. And then to get to 300,000, you took 1, 2, 3, 4 years to get to 300,000. And then from there to get to 400,000, 1, 2, 3 more years, 400,000, 1, 2, 3 more years to get to 500,000, 600,000, 2 years, and then eventually to $689,000 in that one there. That's with earning 8%. It snowballs quicker with the 10%, of course, and get to 1 million. And then 1.5 million roughly at the 12% return rate. And so this is a cool tool to kind of come in and play with, to kind of see where you're at. A lot of people, they just kind of, oh, well, at this point in my life, I'm 35 years old, I have to pay $10,000 a month in order to retire. That's not the case. So you still have time to invest. Let's say you're 25 years old. Now this is even awesomer. Let's say you're 25 years old, and so that changes that number to 40 years. This is the power of compounding interest over time. I'll show you this. Let's say you only have $500 to put in there, and you're only going to put in, let's say, $150 a month. Let's just do a random number like that. I don't know what this is going to turn out. Interest rate, 10% again, estimated interest rate, and then 2% variance annually, and we'll hit calculate. So 40 years, $819,000, and that's just putting in $500 to start with at age 25, and then $150 each month until you turn age 65. Excuse me. And so you go down here, it's just really cool because I'll show you the table here. Kind of the 8%, we got 10% in the middle and 12%. You go down here and look at these totals at the bottom. So 477,000 at 8%. 819,000 at 10%, and 1.4 million at 12%. So taking a look at that, that's pretty awesome. Let's say that you're 25 years old and you want to put, let's just say, $300 a month in there for the next 40 years. We're going to calculate that. So what did that say? 1.6 million is the average. And so show table, and 8%, you get you to $1 million, 1.6 million for the 10%, 2.8 million for the 12%. So these are it's a really cool tool. One of the things that you can do is for your children, you can start, there's called I think it's an UTMA or an UGMA, that you can transfer up to, I think, $15,000 or $16,000 a year annually to your children. But I mean, most of us don't have that to give away to our children. But just say your child is born, and you put $500 in there, and you just contribute $100 a month into their fund. And let's see here, so that's going to take 65 years to mature at 10%. And so we put $100 a month in there, And let's see here, calculate. And they keep putting $100 a month in there. Could be up to $6 million by the time they turn 65. So if you're looking for something to give for your kids for their birthday, this would be the thing to do. So you start with $500, $500 a month, just add $100 a month, and it takes it to full 65 years. But they keep doing it. 8%, 2.2 million, 10%, 6.1 million, 12%, which would be crazy, $16.6 million. And so that's just, you can see over time how much that changes. And I encourage you to go in there and play with that. There's lots of different resources that are out there that you can get creative and put money into your kids' accounts and gift them money and stuff like that. And so that's just talk to a financial advisor about that. They should know about that. And so it's just a cool way to fund your children's future off with a little bit of money when they're born. And when they turn 20, I think when they turn 21 in an UPMA or an UGMA, that the account transfers to them. They're an adult. It might be 18, but if you're smart, you're not just going to roll this over to them and say, here, have fun, because they're going to blow it. They're going to go buy a new car because they don't understand money concepts. But I know that you're a smart person and you're learning from our classes here, and you'll teach your children financial management, and they'll be able to make the right decisions because you've already set them up on a great path to success. And so I wish I had a parent that did this for me, and I'm sure you do as well, but that's pretty cool. So I just want to show you the power of compounding interest and this little tool here, the compound interest calculator. Get in there and play with that. Be sure to put a comment in the school section in our school. Let us know how you're using this calculator. Share with the fun, the success that you've had, the ideas that you may have with different investment ideas that you have for the stock market, and we'd love to hear those ideas. And once again, let's elevate together and elevate with CJ.